and that was Kristaps Porzingis, was also traded. Traded by the Celtics. Trader Brad is at again. Big Balls Brad is out here dropping moves. And he moves Porzingis a day after moving Drew Holiday. Bang, bang, 1-2. As McCone said yesterday, how about the fact that there are no leaks? There are no rumors on either of these two deals now. It just happens. Well, Shams throws it out there. It's done. It's complete. They have moved their two most obvious guys that needed to be moved off the roster for salary purposes. They have now dropped down under that second apron, and the Celtics offseason is off and running. Your thoughts on Porzingis?
Gives us some flexibility. I mean, this is step 2 that everybody here predicted, right? I thought he would have been the first one dealt, and then Drew Holiday would have got moved to a team. It was sort of like, on the edge, like ready to make a run, but they ship him to Portland. Hey, these two guys are good for you. They helped you win a championship a year ago. I think Porzingis already put the post, took out the page in the Globe, thanking fans and the organization. Classy move, but done by his PR team. It gives him some flexibility now. And I heard Maz yesterday, and you say Big Balls Brad.
Big Balls Brad.
It's like, why does everybody give him credit? He had to do this. But I thought McCarthy brought up the best point. Everybody's got leverage against him because you're nailed to the wall because of the cap. And he was still able to get picks and 2 players out of this.
Same thing with this player.
Yeah.
These are 2 players that the whole league knows.
That I know them. Right. Me not being the biggest basketball fan, I at least know these players. And you're not just getting guys that are thrown in there. But I think the local perspective is that these guys could get potentially moved for something else. But then you hear the national people talk about like Stephen A. Like, oh, they're adding this guy. He's going to be a good player for them. They got scoring here now. Like the natural narrative is like, yeah, Brad's getting these guys to play here. I don't think he's still done. I think he's still cooking.
Oh, I told T-Bone. I feel it in my bones. We're getting breaking news during this show.
See, I don't look at it as like, oh, this is airtight. Like no leaks got out with these two because I think these are coming. Now, when the Jaylen Brown one would drop, and you didn't get a leak, and Sham just reports it, that's a bomb. That is a bomb right there. So, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't. I hope not.
Slow down, okay? Number one, slow down.
That's what I thought of Porzingis trade, but like this is
that's not a Porzingis trade. Talking about something else is not a Porzingis. Right. I'm talking strictly about moving on from Kristaps Porzingis. First of all, of the 2 guys they've traded over the last 48 hours, we'll call it.
Yeah.
Which guy has better basketball left in front of him?
True.
Or has the higher ceiling left in front of him?
I think it's Porzingis.
I do too.
Really?
Well, I think you might get more years and more time out of Holiday. I still think that Porzingis, when he's right and he's healthy, helps the team more than Holiday does.
Oh, I understand that from the skill set and size, right? Because he's such a unicorn. But what Holiday brings to the table, just from the team leader perspective, like you fell in love with Marcus Smart, then this guy gets here and this guy helps you win the championship because he does all the little things that we talk about with like a guy like Big Al. But defensively, offensively, he always knows where to go. And, like, I would take that in a leadership perspective, just a guy that's just a true pro, works hard, says the right thing all the time. I would take that guy over Porzingis because of the health risk. That's all. And I know Holiday got banged up too, but when Porzingis he has some weird injuries, man.
McCone, your thoughts on all of it, the returns, everything?
I thought, like Zoe said, I think I feel it in my bones right now. We're gonna get another trade here. It's coming.
I'm not getting locked in on this.
I know it's definitely not the last domino, but just what we've got to grade it on just what they got.
Yes.
In the interim. I know this is not what these guys are not definitely locks for the Celtics roster, but just in the interim, how they did on these first 2 steps.
A+ for Brad Stevens so far this offseason in terms of unloading both of these guys, being put in the corner that he was, like you said, not having that flexibility.
Leverage.
Getting a piece like Simon's back who you can either use next year or flip here in the next few hours. We'll see what he winds up doing there. But, yeah, no, I just thought this was great. And, look, Porzingis, great player for you. Impact guy, also wasn't healthy during both postseason runs for you as well. So I don't know how much this actually impacts your ceiling moving forward either, to be totally honest with you, because I don't know that this was a guy that you could count on long term. So I just think he's done a phenomenal job here to kind of give himself flexibility to make sure that this roster either has wiggle room this offseason to make a big move or has a ton of flexibility next offseason as well. So we'll see.
We shall see. Flexibility under the apron. And so I know that Zoe is very eager to talk about what happens next. Here's what we know. Something next can happen because of these first two moves.
There you go.
Now they've got not just monetary flexibility, right? We're not just talking about, I'm talking about by league rule.
Yeah.
By league rule, they're now allowed to do deals. We were talking a couple of weeks ago when people were throwing out the wild Giannis idea, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't possible at that time because of league rules and being able to match and being over that second apron.
You said it the other day. Where's
Now
the
it
Giannis
changes
talk?
for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Where's the
Now it
Giannis talk
changes.
dead?
Does the timing of these deals tell you anything that these deals are being done at the end of June? When, by the way, historically, this is when the NBA guys just start coming back to work a little bit before they get into the start of July. I know that the finals just finished this week, but there are a lot of teams that during that stretch kind of get away because there's not a lot of league business to be done.
Yeah.
Not the Celtics. The Celtics have obviously been burning up the phone lines to swing these two deals.
I don't think it's any accident that both these guys have moved. And now, like you said, you have the flexibility where you don't have to match dollar for dollar with the trades. You don't have to only have one player in the trade anymore. All those second apron rules that were giving you issues. And all this stuff takes place within 24 hours of the first round of the draft. No, I don't think that that's an accident.
You got the Sunday sauce cooking right now. The pan's hot. You got the oil in. You put the garlic in. You got the, not the prosciutto, but you get the carrots, and then you start browning the meat, and then you got the two big cans, the Jaylen Brown and the Derek White can sitting there, to where you're gonna put those tomatoes in and smash them up, and then put a little wine in there, a little tomato paste. Brad's cooking. I like that. I like that analogy now. Milking. This is cooking. Just starting the mill. But Beatle's right. Like, none of these moves can happen without doing these two first. So, pecking order, got the job done, and actually got some picks and some players.
Picks, players, flexibility, money, all of it coming back. And will they remake this roster now to focus on being good in 2025, 26? Or will they refocus this roster and remold this roster to be great, not only maybe not next year, but the year after? That is what remains to be seen.
If he's a smart basketball guy, and he sits there, and I think he is, we're talking about Brad, and you watch these teams, you watch these playoffs, you watch these series, you watch this thing go 7. Oklahoma City lets that team take them to 7. You got to think, man, we could be competitive next year, and then a little break here and there, and who knows? So I'm taking A on that. Be competitive next year. McCone's for the long haul.
Yes.
Just looking at you over there.
I would rather be great than good. Yeah, I would rather be great than good. And if there's a path there where you can cash in on some of these chips, I know we're going to talk about it, but now that you have this flexibility, if you can really cash in and get a Godfather offer from somebody that sets you up long term and also puts you on the same timeline as Jason Tatum's return, rather than being a 4 seed next year and having a fun 2-round postseason,
3 seed
to get knocked out.
3 seed Eastern Conference Finals.
They don't raise those banners in Boston, by the way. They don't. Yeah.
No, they don't.
238 million in total savings. For
I'm interested in a fan in watching a good team that goes deep in the playoffs. But forgive me for that and not playing the tank game, because I've seen too many bad seasons of Celtics basketball in my lifetime.
Hey,
right?
I hear you.
Right? I've seen too many. The Celtics have had too many suck seasons in my lifetime. I don't like them. Right? I just missed the Bird era. So that means I grew up on the 90s suckbag Celtics.
Yeah.
Okay? And the 2000 Celtics prior to the Big Three, the post-Big Three Celtics. It's just been too much suck. So I'm out on that. I'd rather have a good team to watch and a good team to root for, and a team that, like the Indiana Pacers, nobody was saying they'd be in the NBA Finals. They were.
They were. I think that's an option, and I'm not closing the door on it. All I'm saying is what you're laying out there right now, if Jaylen Brown or Derek White has, if there isn't an offer that blows you over, fine, go down the path that you're talking about. You're not going to win a championship. We're all aware of that, but it would be a fun season, and you can load up again with Jason Tatum. But if you get a Godfather offer for one of those two players and you don't take it, to potentially set yourself up to be that next championship caliber team when Jason Tatum comes back, just because you want to have a fun 1 or 2 round postseason, that to me is a huge mistake. That's a huge mistake.
All right, let's talk more about it. Where they go from here. Are there any pieces in this group of assets that the Celtics have acquired that you'd like to see them keep for some reason. Do you want any of these guys or picks or whatever it is they've acquired to stay?